Welcome, welcome, friends. I hope you're ready to fight. We are so fucking back.
I honestly did not believe this would happen. Like,
No, not
even
even a
now that
little
it's
bit.
still happening, I don't believe
Mhm.
it's actually happening.
It's been far too fucking long. My PC shat the bed in multiple ways at the same time, and it was a nightmare getting things to work again. But finally, fucking finally, we are up and running again. And this is going to be an entire episode of just what did we miss?
Lots of things.
We missed a lot of things, and I should have thought to pull up my list of things that we missed. So let me do that in my second monitor right now. You can see Oliver in the background.
Well, I saw a couple things on the episode, Doc. Is that what you're talking about?
That is exactly what I'm talking about.
There were two things.
So throwing it way back to Halloween.
Yeah.
We want to report back after the Big Dumb Monster Mash, etc.
It was that was like a month and a half ago almost.
I know.
It's wild. My memory doesn't go back that far.
Oh no. Well, then sounds like we're fucked.
I jest. Yeah. I think it went
such
well.
a fucking blast.
Yeah.
We had an absolutely wonderful time at the Big Dumb Monster Mash.
Yes, Chris, absolutely. I'll throw that up there. We barely remembered it right after it happened. I didn't remember it while it was happening. Like, I'd do a thing and then immediately just forget I did that thing.
You were the most messed up I've ever seen you.
Yeah.
Which was super fun for me.
We had the Big Dumb Monster Mash at Bull and Bee Meadery.
Which,
and then
fucking shout out to the Bull and Bee. That was awesome. And I'm so excited for us to be going there again for our ugly sweater party, but we'll talk more about that towards the end of the episode.
I always want to call it the Bull and Beatery.
I kept having to stop myself from calling it the Bee and Barb because that's the name of a tavern in Skyrim.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But we followed it up with Drunken Disorderly.
Only the second ever episode of Drunken Disorderly, which was an absolute, the most fun disaster you can imagine, which is why I'm also really excited to do Drunken Disorderly again after the Ugly Sweater Party.
I mean, I will admit, I do not remember what we talked about during that Drunken Disorderly. It might be because it was so disorderly that it's hard to
It was very disorderly. I did have to go essentially watch game footage, and as I was seeing the things that we talked about, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. It's that's just the remembering them offhand that's is the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a little bit chaotic, but it was, good time.
It was very chaotic. But that same weekend, we had another little adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Which we went to go
see your
GWAR, baby. How would we like to explain that for anyone who doesn't know?
I have described it to people as essentially theatrical metal.
Okay, I would say that's... Who have you described it to, by the way?
I don't know. Multiple people. It's been a month and a half.
Fair enough. I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was something that would really come up in conversation.
No, oh man, I showed all kinds of people the pictures. Plus, you posted it on social media, and my family members saw it. And
you are correct. Questions. Did not think about that.
Yeah.
The shirt was white when I bought it, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the black version, which I was a little sad I didn't think about. I was like, man, I don't like white clothes because I'm too pale for that. And it didn't occur to me at the time,
But now we know, and as we know, if you want to get extra messy, we got to get there a little earlier. Because I would definitely that was definitely worth the price of admission for me.
Yep.
I would totally do that again. Holy shit, GWAR was so much fun. It is an actual sort of concise explanation. It is a theatrical metal band where all of the members have these insanely elaborate alien monster costumes that they perform in, and they are notorious for all but hosing down the audiences with like fake blood and space slime.
I wish I'd thought about it. We should have had some pictures queued up to like show what we looked
Smart, but oh well. Now we
yeah.
like still like realizing that we can do a lot more with we can do a decent amount with StreamYard, much more than I could ever just do with Streamlabs by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna back up for a second just so y'all can see the extent of the mess that this again, it was white when I purchased it. And we have our shirts that we made, which were just white shirts that had a GWAR decal that you cut out for us, which was fucking awesome. Because when you had said you came for the weekend, not really knowing if you were going to go to the concert or not, or if you were just going to hang out while Kyle and I went. And I bought just like a pack of plain white t-shirt, like just undershirt type whatevers from Target, because you had cut out the decals for us. Because I knew that people purposely wore white to go see GWAR because you want to get messy. And so you were like, I haven't really decided if I'm going to go or not. So you make that decision for me. And I was like, well, I bought 3 t-shirts, so you're going.
And of course, my response was, well, I cut out 3 decals just in case.
We know each other almost a little too well.
Yeah, that it's like fate. They come in packs of 3 for a reason.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was an insanely fun show. Dark Funeral, I'm not much of a black metal gal unless it's like black metal with some sort of caveat, which is why I like Batushka, for example. It's like, oh, like scary, extra scary, orthodox black metal, like that type of thing. I mean, they were good. It's just really not my type of metal.
Yeah.
But the first opener was a band called Squid Pisser.
Freaking love Squid Pisser.
They had an absolutely wild stage presence. I was a huge fan. Like, I don't even know if I would listen to their music, but they put on such an entertaining show.
Yeah. No, I just have mad respect for them and their name in particular.
And also, one of the members of GWAR grabbed the bracelets that I made for all of them. So that was super awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mentioned that it's like theatrical metal because they also, it's like a whole performance of
there's a plot. Like, they have like a fake, they're like, one of their props is like a time machine.
Yeah. And where they're bringing back like different past presidents for the most part. Yeah, for the most part, there are some exceptions to that.
I do not see it.
Yeah, and then when they bring back the presidents, they're wearing these costumes. Doesn't really seem to cover it because it's more like, you know, like the mascot level of big giant costume.
Yeah, well, because also parts of it are breakaway, so there's like you have to have like multiple layers.
Oh yeah, because they get like disemboweled and they're like pulling out guts and stuff. But that's where all the liquid comes in. Is that
costumes? Seeing Trump get disemboweled on stage, mwah,
and then blood just squirted. I believe
cathartic.
Blood squirted. Didn't blood squirt from his neck when he either got it slit or cut, like taken off?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
that is a very damp blur.
Yeah. Yeah. So like every single one of these, they must have brought out like 10 different people from the time machine, something like that.
It's crazy. And after there's a documentary called This Is GWAR, which is just about how like this started out as all these people who met in like a college town art scene. I can't remember exactly where, and started doing like, it's a really fascinating story of essentially like how these people have like dedicated their lives to keeping this like, you know, weird degenerate art alive, which I'm so here for. Yeah. So highly recommend watching that. And it was awesome watching it, having seen it. Like, I'm so happy that I went in blind, first of all, and then watching it afterwards, I was like, oh yeah, like we saw that. Yeah. So that was super cool.
Yeah.
It's on Shudder if anybody wants to check it out. I highly recommend.
Yeah. No, it was a super good time, and I would 100% do it again. And, you know,
absolutely.
Knowing what we know, again, get there extra early to get right in the middle. And I am 100% on getting like the white canvas slip-ons. We can put a little decal on it.
Very smart.
And then have the GWAR shoes.
That would be an excellent idea. Yeah, sure. I was going to call this the Gwart, and that didn't feel right.
No, that's worse.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's like squirt. Yeah. I don't like the word squirt. Yeah.
No, I don't either. Man,
Oliver,
what
that's
else has
inappropriate.
gone-
He's got his leggy up in the air.
Look away.
I was gonna go like this to shield him, like that was gonna do anything.
Okay. He's mostly
I'm-
fine for now.
It's never the wrong time to join.
Anyway,
The chat. Yeah.
what else have we met? What else has happened?
Well, Saratoga
That can also
Comic-Con.
be personally. Yeah, fucking Saratoga Comic Con was a total blast. We definitely reined it back in to a good degree this time, or at least I most certainly did.
Oh yeah, I didn't drink a single drop at the con
Oh, I had a
full time.
I had a fusion cocktail at the con, but I kept it at a reasonable level, and that's the only thing that matters. I was totally functional the entire time. Sexy Mothman was a huge hit. I had so much fun wearing that cosplay around, and I performed Hot to Go as Sexy Mothman in the cosplay contest, so that was also really fun. There is footage of that on my cosplay account. That's at BRK Cosplay on Instagram. So that does exist. That is out there. But man, we had a very, very fun time. Kyle actually joined us for like the entire con this time, which like at the table, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
And also he was my lamp on day one. I was Mothman and he was a lamp.
He's such a nice boy, very helpful. Carried
Incredibly
stuff
helpful
and,
boy.
You know, very much
also a
appreciated.
very helpful handler because the Mothman helmet is a little bit vision obstructing.
Yeah, I get that.
And then we finally did our duo cosplay that we had planned on doing at Mid Hudson, but then we were fucking hungover.
We were just like, no, this is effort. I don't have it in me. But we finally did it, and we were on the that panel, the Battle of the Movies, with.
We're on the Battle of the Movies panel, which was fun as hell, and I cannot wait to do another panel. No matter what it is, I had a great time. Shout out Assad.
Yeah, and of course Chris as well from our network.
Yeah,
and it was
you're on the winning team. Fuck you.
You know, I've said this a few times. I feel like the deck was stacked against you, to be honest, though. You know, with that being the concluding.
It felt
film,
very
you know?
unfair.
Yeah, so I will acknowledge that. But yeah, no, it was fun. I would like to do it again when I can actually see. I really underestimated how difficult it is to do that sort of thing without being able to gauge reactions to what you're saying.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Because
definitely working against you, I didn't think about that either until you pointed out to me afterwards. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, because normally I would look to see if people are like interested in what I'm talking about, or if they're laughing at any of my jokes, or I should just give up on trying to be funny. It's like I got no reaction. It was like talking into the void, basically, because I couldn't see through my contacts.
I mean, you did a good job. Or I thought you did a good job, so you were fine.
I will take your word for it, because again, saw nothing.
It was a very fun con. We had a little con wrap up on the first night, which was lovely. And then we, on Sunday, had the first episode of Whatever Happens, Happens, which was delightful, or at least it was super fun for me and Kyle.
Yeah,
you were our observer / security.
I just hung out and drank beer and just kind of basically was there when Nick wanted to give looks, where he'd be like.
I did go back and watch some of that later because we had the producer cam on him, seeing his reactions and seeing the chat, because I wasn't paying attention to that while I was talking to somebody. Going back to comb through the chat and see his face was really funny.
Yeah, I found it entertaining. I was like, this is just the time to drink beer and watch Nick squirm, essentially.
Yeah, just watch him slowly lose his mind.
So yeah, that was.
I took the last remaining of the OG Fighting with Friends stickers, and I made a Fighting with Friends mug.
Nice. Very nice.
In news that's exciting to me, my mom got me a tea advent calendar yet again. I think this is like the third or fourth year running.
As she does every year.
As she does every year. And I'm enjoying a lovely green tea blend right now.
Nice. I thought about getting one this year, and then I didn't.
She's story. By the way, she's taken to calling Oliver her grand cat, which I think is adorable. And she got him a TREAT advent calendar from Trader Joe's.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Which he has been loving. Also, cat update. His fucking juvenile gingivitis has not gone away. So guess who has to get their teeth cleaned? This disgusting little boy.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit's expensive.
That he is now insured.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. You're mommy's little problem, aren't you? But he needs it. His breath is fucking disgusting.
I've experienced it.
Yeah, he's a nasty boy. Anyway. What else has gone on with you, bestie?
Nothing that I would not put into the worsening segment.
I mean, we can technically get that going if you want to, because I have quite a fair amount of things as well. We've gotten a lot worse in our time apart.
Oh my god, I just entirely lost my train of thought.
Worsening.
Before we get, I got it. I found it again.
Hold the meditation.
You are without doubt the worst part.
Would you
continue?
God, in your own body, hold the hammering. That's from Scrooged. Anyway, I was going to say, before we get into our personal worsening, I would like to mention the worsening of another member of our network. Because I was thinking about that when I was thinking about Saratoga, when we were both cosplaying as characters from Chainsaw Man.
And now,
creates some curiosity. To the point where, yes, he was very upset today that there's only 12 episodes and that's just it.
I always fondly recall that time we were like, oh, let's watch a couple episodes of Chainsaw Man with the English dub just to see how they did. And then we accidentally watched the entire series again in one sitting. Because we just kept being like, oh, wait, they're this next episode. I want to see what they sound like. Oh, wait, the season's over.
Yep. And it's like, oh, that's it? Like, I know that's it, but that's it?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know why other people getting worse in similar ways to my worseness brings me joy.
I love that for you.
No, yeah, I like other people to rot in a similar fashion.
I dig it. All right, now we can begin the meditation.
Listen, cue ball, you're only making it worse.
Thanks, that even makes it worse.
It's worse than you know.
It usually is.
I think that's the worst thing I've ever heard.
That's the worst goodbye I've ever heard. And you stole it from a movie.
How marvelous.
What do you got for me, bestie?
Gosh, it's hard to know where to begin because we've been off for like a month and a half.
It's been a hot minute.
That's
why I put extensive weekly worsening on the calendar.
You know what? And rather than one of us ranting, we can just go back and forth. Like, I'll do a worsening thing, and then you can do one. We can just kind of
that works for me.
Keep it more interesting. Because you may have noticed that my setup is a little bit different than when we last did the pod. So I was visiting my parents over Thanksgiving weekend, and they decided to go into Home Depot, and I was like, I'm not going to hang out with you guys in Home Depot. I'll just go next door to Best Buy and look around. And then I happened upon this thing. It was a thing I was not looking for. It is a thing I do not need, and yet it is a thing that I purchased because Black Friday sale.
It'd be like
So anyway, I have a 45-inch curved OLED gaming monitor
that.
that I'm
Holy
looking
shit,
at
girly
right now.
pop.
It's massive. It's so big.
I am amazed.
To the point where when I bought it and actually like put it on the desk for the first time, I just laughed and laughed. The box, I could fit inside of the box for this thing. It's insane.
That is amazing.
It is a $1,700 monitor that I got for $1,000.
That is not bad.
Yeah, it was a pretty good deal. And I was like, that's insane. So, but then I was like, but I like to work with multiple screens. And I have these other monitors, these two 24-inch monitors. So I got a stand and they're now stacked vertically over here. So now,
God damn.
this situation is completely insane because I have the 45-inch curved monitor here.
I
and
need
two
a
24-inch
more
monitors.
insane situation. I'm the one who's running this show.
And then in my laptop screen's right here in my laptop. So technically there are 4 screens in here, one of which is massive.
I am so impressed.
Yeah, so that's led to playing more video games as well to really take full advantage of it. But that's another story. But
So I'm gonna
yeah,
say that,
I would
so
say
that means it's my turn.
well, but I would
If
also
that's
mention
another
I
story.
still yeah, but I still need to figure out what exactly my setup is going to look like because the monitor is so tall that my microphone boom won't reach over it, which is why it's just sitting down here on a stand. So I still gotta work out a few kinks, but yeah.
Oh, also, this is technically a logistics thing, but you just reminded me of it because you were talking about your microphone setup. I figured since consider this an announcement, which I will reiterate again at the end of the episode. We're going to be doing some bonus streams because I don't want to let the final season of Shadows pass in only like 2 episodes and only like 2 streams for us because we've talked about that show so many times.
Yeah.
Like over the course of doing our Twitch streams that I want to give it what it deserves. So we're going to be doing some bonus streams, but I figured for the one where you will most likely be here in Albany, we could do what we did. I believe this was also a Shadow stream where I moved my microphone off of the boom arm onto the little stand and then we just both talk at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we will be concluding our we will be talking about Shadows for the last time ever in the same room. So that feels kind of right. But with that out of the way, was that your first turn?
Yes.
Are we trading off now?
Yep.
Girl, help. I cannot stop watching Reanimator.
How many times have you watched it?
Like fucking 5.
In what
I don't
length
know
of
what's
time?
happening in like a month.
So that's at least once a week, essentially.
Pretty much, like 4 or 5 times. I don't know what's happening to me. I made this. I made a fucking K-pop style photo card keychain of Herbert West.
You made it yourself or you order it?
No, I made this myself. I ordered the
okay.
materials. I ordered like a photo card kit that I made multiple. We can get into that, but help. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with this fucking weirdo.
It's an excellent film. Herbert's still at my desk somewhere amongst
David Bowie's. It was fucking David Bowie's favorite movie. Which, like, God, great taste, King. But yeah, that movie has me in a fucking chokehold. As soon as I have a horrible day, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna go home and watch Reanimator.
Because it is a movie filled with glee. in the sense
You're
of like,
so right, Queen.
because it's impossible to watch it without like laughing or at least having a big smile on your face. But it's like this.
No,
is
it's
so
impossible to
stupid.
have a bad time watching that movie. And like From Beyond is so similar in that respect, which if you watch the stream, you know that you don't have a choice about watching it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just fucking Stuart Gordon movies in particular, like, and Reanimator and From Beyond especially, have me in a fucking chokehold, and I don't know what's happening.
Jeffrey Combs. Jeffrey
Yes, I
Combs
have
is
a
happening.
fat fucking crush on him, and also on Barbara Crampton. So
Yeah,
you know, there's that.
That means you got to watch Deep Space Nine now.
Sure,
Same as
fine.
Mayun.
Oh, also, there was one of our last episodes before we went off the air for a little while. You made some comment about how it was the Halloween episode. We were doing our Halloween Smasher Pass, and we were talking about whether or not Herbert West was a smash, and you were like, "Oh yeah, Jeffrey Combs is a smash, just not as Wei-Yun or whatever." I went back to the episode
Jeez.
that we did with May, and you said smash, you fucking liar.
But don't you remember what I said during the Halloween episode though? Because you brought that up, and I was like, basically acknowledged that it was true, but I was pretending it wasn't.
You said you were lying to yourself, and I was like, wait, I wanted to double check to make sure I wasn't throwing you under the bus. Like, I wanted to make sure that you hadn't actually said, like, oh, I guess that's the least objectionable Star Wars, like, or not Star Wars, Jesus Christ, Bridget, Star Trek character in that episode with May, that you were like, oh, if I'm forced to pick, like, gun to my head, this is the one I'll pick. No. That was
I brought him up.
Full-hearted endorsement.
You know what it is, I think, probably in that episode, with May being there and her also being into Star Trek, like somehow that like encouraged it in a way, you know? Yeah.
That was a fun episode. We gotta have her back on at some point.
Yeah. Maybe I'll randomly run into her at a con many hours from her home again. So weird to run into her at Nickel City. Yeah.
Small world.
All the way from Jersey.
So yeah, that's one of the ways that I'm worse. Movie and character have me in just death grip around my fucking throat.
Fun.
For reasons unknown.
Yeah.
Back to you, bestie.
I have started making another attempt at watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I can't say I didn't see this coming.
I can't remember how many times I've tried now. I mean, I've definitely watched more of it than previously, but here's the thing. I don't know what it is about that show that makes me...
I know exactly what it is about that show. It's the fact there's a character named fucking Ario Speedwagon.
That's just the beginning. So Speedwagon is a major character, and he does carry through like multiple generations of the Joestar family. But like, there's an AC/DC character spelled ESIDISI. There's like all these other ones. They're named after crest. There's a Ton Petty, one word, Ton Petty.
Incredible.
Yeah, so there's like a whole bunch of those. But that's not even like, it makes me so angry. And yet I can't even put into words the feeling that it creates within me. But, you know, my poor friend Jenna, I just like unleashed on her the other night complaining about it. And like, she's never watched anime in her entire life.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, but she knows a lot of anime because of me. She actually bought herself like a little Pochita keychain. She's like, I've never seen it, but he's so cute.
He is so cute.
Mm-hmm. But I was just like complaining, you know, because there's that. Everything is so over the top and ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But what really bothers me is that practically none of the characters are American. There's a lot of them in that because it starts in England. So a lot of them, like Ario Speedwagon, are British. And then, you know, they do eventually come to the US. You kind of get a mix. But here's the thing. Not only did they not bother to hire voice actors that had the accent, you know, that was appropriate for the character. So they didn't bother to hire like English people to do the English dub. Mm-hmm. But they picked people who are clearly American and have zero ability to mimic the accent and are very
Fascinating.
clearly phoning it in. So like you can barely tell that they're intending it to be an English accent, but they are, and they're doing it in such an exaggerated way. It sounds like they're just being sarcastic all the time.
Incredible.
And have you watched any of the dub of Attack on Titan?
I mean, I've seen a couple little clips, but for all intents and purposes, no.
Well, so in the latter half of the first season, they introduce a character who is meant to be Italian. His name is Caesar. His last name
Shocker.
is Zeppeli. Zeppelin.
Sure.
But he's supposed to be Italian. And in the English dub, he is voiced by the same guy who voices Eren in Attack on Titan.
Whack.
And it's that Bryce guy who like voices everything that I keep complaining about because he's like the main character. He voiced Kirito in Sword Art Online. That's for Arthur. So he voices like all these main characters in all these different anime series, and he's Italian. And I'm getting angry again. It upsets me so much. I took a picture of the screen the other night with something so ridiculous that I was going to put in the Weeb chat and I forgot. But it's like there's a point where there's a character who's literally just a head, but then he shoots out tendrils and starts strangling somebody. And
Incredible.
I can't tell if they're trying to be ridiculous and it's supposed to be funny, or if they're serious.
I think part of the charm for those who enjoy it is that you can never tell.
It just creates such feelings within me. And it has definitely made me worse because if anybody brings up anything even tangentially related that I can connect to it, I will start ranting. So it is not fun to be around me until I finish JoJo. But the thing is, there's a lot of episodes.
Oh, yeah.
There's 5 seasons of it, and they're like long seasons.
I've heard tell.
So I'm calm. I'm calm.
I love that for you.
So yeah, I am worse in that way. I'm calming down. I'm not saying more things about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Nicely done. Very proud. So the next way that I am worse, now that I finally have my fucking PC back, the Fallout brain rot continues. The Wastelands have been calling me for like a month, and I finally got back at it today, and God, it felt so good. I know this is going to eat up so much of my time again. Like, I know that I'm going to go into mega hyperfixation mode because finally I can play it again.
Yeah, I saw you on there. I had just gotten
yeah,
home.
you did the I can see you, bitch.
I had just gotten home and opened up Steam, and I was like, oh, I could, play it just for a little bit before dinner. And then, my list of games in my library, I saw the little green dot next to Fallout 4, and I was like, I bet I know who that is.
Have you been playing Fallout 4 recently?
I have not, but I have a video game segment of my worsenings.
Incredible. Where did you leave off in Fallout? Like, what major quests have you done recently?
Oh gosh, it's been a while since I played it. I don't remember. I was on my way to Diamond City, I want to say. I wasn't super far in.
Yeah, I feel like my video game segment is really short because I just got back into it, but I know it's going to be bad because of how excited I was just to be able to play for like an hour today.
Mm-hmm.
So if you'd like to talk about if you'd like to have your gamer moment while I go grab something that's going to be part of my next little bit of worsening, go for it.
Wow. Okay. So part of it goes back to Black Friday sales. I bought a whole bunch more Switch games, so there's that.
I love it.
Most of which I haven't actually played yet. But again, with the new monitor, I've been trying to take full advantage of it. And so first of all, I've been playing a lot of Cult of the Lamb.
Nice.
which is super fun. I'm still trying to come up with a good name for my cult, but it brings me new joy in new ways just constantly. Because, you know, I got to like sacrifice a follower the other day for the first time. I mean, he asked for it, so that was kind of cool. And you get to like just do all these horrific things. I made a couple of my followers fight to the death. That was fun.
Nice.
You know, you collect the bones of your enemies to perform rituals and, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's a good time.
I dig it.
So there's been a lot of that. But the game I've been playing the most is one that I laughed at the very existence of not that long ago. And that is Power Wash Simulator.
You know, you could have given me like 10 guesses. Never would have gotten there.
Because I had seen it, you know, in the Steam store.
Not even a little bit.
And I was like, that is so stupid. Why would anyone sit there in like Steam Power Wash things digitally? That seems insane. And then it was on sale, you know, again, Black Friday on Steam, and it was pretty good price. And I was like, you know what?
I gotta see what this is about.
Yeah, because it has such good reviews. People freaking love it. And I'm like, that seems insane. And so I bought it, and like instant addiction. I don't know what it is. It's very soothing, very zen. But also importantly, I should point out that it does have like a story-ish kind of to it.
Incredible.
Like, you have your own power washing company. And people hire you to, you know, clean various buildings and vehicles and stuff like that. But as you're cleaning, like every 20% you clean, you get like messages that pop up on your screen about like new jobs or about the one you're working on. And it is freaking funny. Like some of those messages.
I believe you.
Out. Yeah.
I believe it.
Just the humor involved in the messages. There's a whole ongoing thing about the mayor's cat having gone missing and them trying to find it. And
oh boy.
Yeah. So it's really funny and really entertaining. And I just can't stop. That's what I was going on to play when I saw you were playing Fallout. I went and I power washed an RV.
Nice.
Before dinner. I don't know.
I'm here for it. I really am.
I can't stop. And I'm like, oh, I gotta finish cleaning this because I want to see what new jobs I get. And then like you earn money for cleaning, and then you can use that money to buy like better power washers and attachments and cleaning products. And like
fantastic.
New like jumpsuits and gloves and stuff.
This is fantastic.
I have a hot pink jumpsuit right now, and
Slay.
pink gloves with little octopuses on them.
Hell yes, queen.
Yeah, it is. Again, I laughed at its very existence mere weeks ago, and now it's eating my brain up.
Funny how things change.
Mm-hmm.
My turn?
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a little twofer here, because I've been getting real crafty lately.
All right.
As evidenced by the Herbert West photo card, I made a photo card keychain of my actual boyfriend.
I mean, appropriately.
So there's that. And I made
feels
one.
Very honored.
I made one. Kyle requested one. It's fucking Barbara Crampton from Beyond. So I'm holding on to this for him while he's on vacation. This is what happens when I get left alone, by the way. I'm unsupervised. Just gets 10 times weirder. But the big thing that I've been doing a shit ton of work on is my battle jacket. I added spikes to the collar recently. And I did hours worth of hand embroidering so I could have on the hem have it say, in the sleep token runes, this is a line from a line from Take Me Back to Eden. And say, I don't know what's got its teeth in me, but I'm about to bite back in anger. I have that in their little alphabet on the hem of my jacket, and I embroidered their symbol onto that. I put a bunch of secret pockets on the inside, which I'm really proud of. There's one for each of the like breast pockets. There's this one in the back, and then I sewed around the edges of the square patch. Just patch pocket.
Nice.
So this is not even close to done, but I've done so much work on it still. So that's been a thing that's been eating up a lot of my time as I've been just like chilling, not having a computer for like a month. I got real crafty with it.
I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, what have you been doing with your spare time if you can't play Fallout?
Do you see why I felt the call of the wasteland so strongly?
Yeah, I was like, just right back at the brain bar. You just got your computer back and you're like, yeah.
It only took a day. But yeah, that has what's been occupying a shit ton of my time. I've made a lot more bracelets. I've been working on my battle jacket like a crazy person. I finished a cross stitch that was a gift for a friend because she recently got engaged. So I got very crafty in the absence of my technology. I did try to fire my Xbox back up so I could finish playing Batman Arkham Origins, but I've been having trouble connecting ye old Xbox Live account, and that's where my data is saved. So I have to try and figure that out, but I did make my attempts to not go cold turkey with the video games.
You do know you have your Switch as well.
I do have my Switch, and I did play a little bit of Animal Crossing, but I was feeling like more quote unquote serious games, and I don't really have any serious my Switch is like, just because of the way that Nintendo, the type of stuff Nintendo tends to make, it's a little more like friendly for everyone, kind of cutesy. And I was like, I really want to play something like serious right now, or like I've been in the mood to play something serious for quite some time, and I just did not really have that option.
You can buy Stray for Nintendo Switch.
I could, and perhaps I will at some point. But
yeah, I just got 2 games for my Switch that I haven't tried out yet, but one's called Biomutant, where you get to be like a mutant animal and like
I dig it.
modify your own mutations and stuff. And then one called Ugly, which is like a puzzle-based story game. It sounds kind of interesting. Yeah.
Huh.
So I'm excited to try those out.
I love that.
Yeah.
But I think that's the conclusion of my worsening. A lot of crafts.
Yeah, I mean, related to that, I sold out of my loaf cats at Saratoga Comic-Con.
Hell,
so now I have to make more.
Queen.
So I bought
Those
so
were
much yarn.
popular.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope it wasn't just like a fluke thing, because I got a ton of yarn.
I don't think so. They were really popular at Mid-Hudson too.
Yeah, so I'm gonna produce so many. We got.
You have to have the army
months almost.
stacking in the back again.
I thought about it, but it was in the way a lot.
Understandable.
Because I do keep stuff in that dresser, mostly like spare sheets and stuff like that. But
Gotcha.
But I have 8 so far.
Not bad.
But there will be many, and I've bought some new colors and stuff too. So I've been spending a lot of time working on those as well, and knitting, and watching TV, and
I love it.
Sorry, I just noticed the private chat on the distracted me there for a moment. Yeah, so I would say that's another part of my worsening as well. Just the sheer amount of craft materials for cat making. I made a mobile cat factory, love cat factory.
I love it.
Like a hinge storage bin where I keep like the stuffing and all the stuff to make the faces and the various colors of yarn that I then brought to my parents for Thanksgiving. And
I am a fan. Nice.
So, I actually made most of a pochita. I never actually finished it. It's downstairs though. I was making it with cotton yarn because that was what the pattern called for, and I just don't like it. I might make modifications. But yeah, it's mostly done.
Not bad.
I thought about that. Yeah.
Would you say that's the conclusion to your worsening? So we got a couple things coming up we can talk about, let people know about.
There's probably other things, but yeah, that's more than enough for me.
Yeah, well, as you can always save them for next week, but things we've got coming up. We are back with our stream tomorrow night at 8. We're going to be talking about, we're breaking it up to do 2 episodes each of the streams that we're talking about Shadows all the way until the end. So our final episode talking about the show is going to be about the last 2 episodes of the show, because there's going to be 11. So tomorrow we are talking about episodes 4 and 5. Friday we're talking about episodes 6 and 7. And then our second bonus stream is going to be not this coming Friday, but next Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So bonus streams here. We've got the Ugly Sweater Party coming up on the 21st at the Bull and Bee Meadery. We're going to be doing karaoke. We're going to have some prizes. Wear your ugliest Christmas sweater. Brooks is going to be in town for that, which is going to be awesome. And yes, down there, look at that.
6 to 9 p.m. the time.
6 to 9 p.m. Going a little longer than Halloween, so we don't have to be quite as rushed, which is very exciting. Kyle's going to be there. And afterwards, we're going to be doing an episode of Drunk and Disorderly, which is guaranteed to be a rousing good time.
Yes. Particularly if we don't have to drive.
Well, since Kyle is also going to be there, I think we can split an Uber 3 ways. I think we can do that.
Nice.
So, things to look forward. Yeah, it will be a drunken mess, but it will be a lot of fun. And I think as far as things coming up, what else have we got going on the network this week? Is the extra Defenestration Hour episode this week?
On Friday. Yes. Defenestration
okay,
Hour
so
on Friday.
Depending on your preference, you can either watch us talk about vampires or you can watch Chris and Tom talk about, I'm not exactly sure what the movie is. My apologies. But if you want to see some cheesy action flick discussion, head on over there.
I feel like it was mentioned, because watching your regrettable reviews last night, Double Team, that's what it was. Because I remember you put in the word double and forgot the team, and then you put it in later.
That's what it was.
It's like, I feel like they mentioned it, yeah. So I'm basing my help with announcements on yesterday's announcements.
Pretty much. And I think that's really it for the foreseeable future. We'll probably do something for maybe just a stream for New Year's. We'll figure it out, but
yeah,
that can be nailed down a little later.
Yeah.
Anything else?
We do some gaming stuff. I will mention
Power Wash stuff is always fun.
Power Wash Simulator has a co-op mode. Just saying.
I will totally fucking play Power Wash Simulator with you for a New Year's stream. Are you kidding me? That sounds like a delightful time.
Just power wash a house together.
Hell yes, queen. I am so here for that. You say less. You do not have to convince me.
Oh man, we're in finals week. I'm losing it.
Oh great.
Last traces of sanity are leaving my body.
Proud. Well, with Brooks going completely and totally insane, do we think that's what we're gonna want to call it for tonight?
Yeah, I gotta finish.
Unless you got anything else you feel like you gotta say.
Nope, I gotta clean the fire station helicopter. I was about halfway through, so.
Love that for you. All right. Well, as always, friends, thank you for fighting with us. We appreciate each and every single one of you. Tune back in tomorrow and Friday for what we do in the shadow streams, and we will see you next week. Adios, everybody. It's good to be back. This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brooks. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Catch us live on Twitch every Wednesday and Thursday, and for ad-free live broadcasts of the show, you can subscribe to our Twitch channels or consider donating to our Patreon for ad-free access to our entire library of past episodes and streams, as well as fun bonus content. Fighting with Friends is a member of the Big Dumb Monsters podcast network. Check out the links in the description for more episodes from us and from all of the shows on the network. Thanks for listening!